students. Today we start with our first chapter of geography, representation of geographical features. Right? So if we are going to represent some geographical features on a map, we can represent it through the topographic map. As in previous class, we have told you about the topographical map, political maps, and other maps also. So here, the physical geographical features or the physical features of a particular place on a map should be shown by using a topographical map. So what topographical map is? It is a map which shows you details about the natural or the human-made features on a place, right? Or whatever the place we have made this map of, or about a particular country, about a particular region, or about a particular place, whatever it is. So how we show the topographical map is we use contour lines, we use colors, and we use conventional symbols to show you different places, right? So what contour lines is basically, those are the lines which are drawn above the sea level, means the height which is above the sea level. In order to show that height, means a particular place, that place is how much above the sea level, we used to show with the help of contour lines, right? And with the help of colors also, we use different types of colors to show different features on a topographical map. And with the help of conventional symbols also, we show different places like where are the human settlements, and where are the roads, where are the river valleys, where are the water bodies. We show with the help of conventional symbols, right? So here we start with the help of colors. Means why we use different types of colors in a topographical map, right? So here I have a list of colors for you: blue, red, yellow, brown, green, white, and black, right? So as you know that in a particular map, wherever you see that blue color, right, that sky blue basically it is. So blue color is used in a map to show the water bodies, like we have seas, oceans, and other canals we have, like different lakes we have, right? To show that we have this blue, right? And second one is your red color. And red color is used to show the human settlements, right? Like we have built the roads, we have built the buildings, we have the trucks, bays, and other ways, means the features which are built by the humans, that is shown by the red color, right? Now here you are seeing the third color is yellow color. Yellow color is basically used to show the agriculture farmlands, right? To show the agriculture farmlands, we use the yellow color, right? And here you are seeing this brown color, right? So brown color is used to show the highlands, westlands, or hilly areas, plateau regions, okay? Or for numbering also, right? We use, or for stony places also, we can use this brown color, right? Green color is basically used for the grasslands, orchards that we have, and for the forest regions also, for the forest belt also, we use this green color, right? And white color is used to show the uncultivated land, means the land which is uncultivated and it is basically barren land or have the rocky sphere, right? The place which is a land which is of no use, like barren land that we have or uncultivated land, we show that land with the help of white color, right? And then we have the black color. Black color is used to show the boundaries, height, and telegraph lines, embankments, and dune, and for the streams also, tank and canals also, and to show different boundaries also, we have this black color, right? So these colors are used to show different features on a map, right? I'll show you how. And then we have the scale to measure for the measurement, right? So as you can have a map, I'll show you. In a map, particular scale is being given on this side or on the top of the side. What the use of this scale is, actually what happens is, it's a ratio. The scale is basically a ratio between the actual distance on the ground and the distance between two places in the map. Means मैप में दो places के बीच में आपका क्या distance है, मैप में दो places के बीच में क्या distance है and actual ground में क्या distance है, उसका जो ratio होता है वो मैप में scale के थ्रू शो किया जाएगा. Then we have three types of scales here. We have verbal statement scale, linear scale, representative extraction scale. Verbal statement is, it is normally written like that 1 centimeter is for 100 kilometer, like this. It is in a statement way it is being given. In linear scale, what happens is, you can see in a map, on a map this type of lines is being given to you, like, and like in a map you can see these lines are given to you, then the map is being drawn. As you have seen in the map, I'll show you. you can see here, this you can see this black lines were given, right? So this cross section of lines is known as the lead line. So it will show you both the qualities, latitude and longitudinal lines are given there. So as per that, this map is being framed, and that is represented fraction. That you can see on the top of a map, you will see a ratio is being given, 1:100 or 1:50. It means that 1 centimeter difference between two places on a map is equals to 50 kilometers if the fraction RF fraction is 150, and if it is showing 1:100, that means 1 centimeter on a map is equals to 100 kilometers on a ground, right? Means difference between two places on a map is 1 centimeter. Then how much it is? 100 kilometers on the ground, right? So for this thing, we have these three types of scale: verbal statement, normally statement is given; linear scale, in the cross section view, this type of scale; and RF scale, we say it is the rectangular fraction scale, and this fraction is being given to you, like 1:100 means 1 centimeter equals to 100 kilometers, like this is given to you, right? Next is measuring distance on a map. How to measure distance on a map? What we used to do is, suppose that if we have a map, and if that map is, we have to measure distance between two means something which is given on a straight line. Then what we have to do is, we'll take a scale, okay, and we'll put this scale like this between 2 points and mark the points. For example, our first point is here and second point is here. Like suppose that here is a straight line given between Jaipur to Delhi. So I'll mark it here, and I'll mark it the second point with the help of a ruler. Okay. So you take a pencil with it and you will mark the difference here, right? And then you will get the centimeters. How many centimeters? Suppose that my distance here is 4 centimeters, and my scale is showing that it is of 100 kilometers. It means the distance between those two places is 4 into 100. That is 400 kilometers, right? So that is how you can measure the distance between two places on a straight line, right? And the second thing is how to measure distance along a curved line. Suppose if we have a railway track and something, this you can see this track is being given to you, it is not on a straight line. So how to measure that is, you can take a thread. What you can take is, you can take a thread, right? And what you have to do is, suppose that I have to measure distance between this railway track from Delhi to Bhopal, right? So what I will do is, I will place like this. You can see this. You take a thread and you place like this from here. Wherever this curved line goes, you can do it. Okay? And then you can measure like this. And then you have to straighten the thread and measure it with the help of a scale, right? Whatever the distance is. Suppose that approximately it is of 7 centimeters. So what our scale is? 1 ratio equals to 100 kilometers. So 7 into 100 kilometers. So that's how we can measure distance of 700 kilometers, right? So to measure distance on a straight line, what we have to do is, you have to put a scale over that straight line, and whatever centimeters are, you can convert it through the fraction, whatever fraction is given to you. And on a curved line, what you have to do is, you have to take this like a thread, and you have to place it there, and then you can measure the distance there, right? And so it is very easy to measure distance between two places on a map like this, right? So if you have any further doubts, you can ask me regarding this thing. Okay, that's all for today.